Today I'm gonna be looking at the 2017 movie Mayhem. Spoilers ahead, take care. Our story begins with a voiceover talking about a virus called the Red Eye virus. A virus that causes humans to lose all their basic human decency and give in to their primal urges. The people infected by this virus are called Redders, and no matter what, they can't be held accountable for their actions. This includes murder. This is where we meet Derek, an upstanding young man heading into his first day at his office job. At this point, he's still happy and excited. But as the months go on, he stayed determined to pay off his student loans and get to the top of the company. Until he eventually did. But he still had a long way to go. Inside his office, we learn Derek has become so busy he can't even show up for his sister's birthday. Over the phone, she says that he's not the same person he used to be. He hangs up on her and heads to his 9 o'clock meeting with a woman named Melanie. It turns out that she's there to get a loan to stop the bank from taking her house away. She even begs him to help her out, but he says he can't go against the higher-ups. Melanie wants to meet the higher-up who's in control of the case, and it turns out to be Irene. Eric is so scared of her, instead of letting Melanie talk to Irene, he calls security to escort the woman out. Of course, she's furious. Meanwhile, Derek has a drink of water with a strain of the virus. Later Derek learns they are planning on firing him because he messed up a case, even though it wasn't even his case. To figure out this mystery, Derek requests a meeting with Kara, the right-hand woman to the boss. People call her the Siren. They send Derek up to her where he tells her that the case that messed up was hers. But she's changed the files to frame Derek for her mistake. Together they go up in the elevator to meet with the big boss, John Towers. A total maniac who's not afraid to do what needs to be done for the best of his company. He explains how one must be sacrificed for the good of the company. And he plans to sacrifice Derek. He sends him out as they discuss what to do with Derek. He goes to meet with his best friend Yeun. Derek tells him the whole story, but his friend tries to assure him and work out a plan to save his career. Kara enters and tells Derek that he's been fired and needs to leave. Derek threatens to take it to the 9, the board of directors in charge of all the big decisions. They decide to fire him and sends one man to do the job. Lester, the man in charge of human resources, so he's the one that does the layoffs. They call him the Reaper. He enters Derek's office to do the final paperwork. He tries to work out a deal, but Lester just does not want to listen. Derek is getting more and more agitated. He refuses to sign the paperwork and is not gonna leave till he pleads his case. As the Reaper leaves, the military shows up outside and start locking down the building, even threatening to shoot the inhabitants. Derek finds out that none of them is allowed to leave anyways. The military people explain to the boss that they're being locked down because there has been a trace of the virus found inside the building. This is when Derek gets punched in the face, as the woman explains that the cure has been injected into the ventilation, but it will take 8 hours to actually take effect. That means for 8 hours all activities in the building is legal. While getting beat up, Derek finally snaps, getting up to beat the crap out of the aggressive guy. Pumped full of adrenaline, Derek says he's gonna go talk to the 9, but Yeun calms him down and talks him out of it. For now, Derek sneaks away from Yeun. Inside the workplace, it's shown that all the stressful work activities have gotten to the workers, and many of them are already losing control. Derek has apparently gotten access to the office of the big boss, but this time they send him to the wrong floor. He gets thrown to the floor where we meet the Bull, the private bodyguard of the boss. Nobody knows exactly what he does, but whenever someone needs to disappear, this guy is always there. Derek gets beaten up and pepper sprayed. Just as they are about to break Derek's hand, Yeun comes rushing in to aid him. But he gets beaten up by the Bull and impaled on a nail. Derek gets knocked out and locked up in a room. When he wakes up, he finds Melanie locked up with him. The two immediately starts fighting and arguing about how they have a mutual hatred of the company. They figure that can work together to get to the higher-ups and teach them a lesson. Derek finds a box full of wiring and puts together a working phone. Turns out he's used it to set up a call with the firm's biggest investor, and they want to cut their deal with the firm. This angers the boss greatly since it means he will lose hundreds of thousands of dollars. He sends his goons to go and kill Derek, but when they arrive, they find that Melanie and Derek are waiting for them. He knocks one out with a plank and then beats the hell out of the other guy with his bare fists until he's dead. They break open a cage and then get themselves a whole arsenal to take down the office. They work out a plan to get to the boss. They need to kill Reaper first to get his keycard that will take them to the Siren. And her keycard will take them to the top. Reaper walks through the office where he spots the deadly duo. After blocking a nail gunshot with pure luck, he quickly retreats back into his office. While they try and break through, Melanie gets shot in the back with a taser, prompting Derek to take cover and hide. He sneaks around and takes out one guard before making quick work of another. He gets back just in time to help Melanie, who was getting tortured by the Reaper. Once again he retreats back into his office. Derek helps Melanie up and they enter the office to confront him. They start negotiating with him, but Lester does not want to give up his keycard. He stabs Derek in the hand and is about to kill Melanie with a nail gun, but she grabs a saw and slices him up. The Reaper is out. After Melanie helps Derek out, he gets an idea. He asks Melanie to take a video of him where he threatens the higher-ups to get them scared for what's to come. They use the keycard to take the elevator and then guard the hallway that leads to her office. Meanwhile, the boss has put a bounty of $450,000 on Derek's head. With only 4 hours left, the duo decides it's time to attack. They come face to face with a group the Siren has put together. He warns them that any of them that want to leave are free to do so. Siren leaves the room as they all get ready for a fight. With one last warning, they all charge at each other. It's an uphill battle since they're outnumbered. But with various smart uses of office supplies, the duo gain the upper hand and manage to beat the office workers. That leaves them free to enter the office of Kara. She starts making deals immediately, offering them a keycard in exchange for her life. He agrees and she calls in her assistant. But her assistant has destroyed the keycard because she got offered a promotion by the boss. The two argue and this leads to Siren getting stabbed and killed off-screen. After another threatening video message to the boss, Derek and Melanie use the time to rest and bond a little. He apologizes for not helping her with her mortgage problems earlier. Derek remembers that he knows an IT guy that can help them get to the top floor. They talk him over to hack into Irene's computer. After he does some hacking stuff and absolutely destroys her hard drive, they bribe Irene with a backup of her hard drive and tells her to come down there to meet them. The bull has taped his gun to the underside of the meeting table. When she goes for the gun, it turns out that Derek already swiped it. They start discussing a trade. Her keycard for the files and her signature to save Melanie's home. She throws the paperwork aside and that makes Melanie snap. As Derek gives them space to fight, he gets jumped by the bull. So they each have their own fight to worry about. Melanie gets thrown to the ground and Derek has a gun aimed at him. But Bull shoots out all the bullets at the room and tosses the gun to the side, only to get out his knuckle duster. Melanie finally gets the upper hand on the director and is about to smash her when Irene says the card doesn't work and needs an access code. Derek tries his best to fight back against the bull, but he's no match. He gets out his pepper spray, but Derek takes it in his mouth and spits it back up into Bull's face before he kills him with a screwdriver. He then heads to help Melanie. Irene wants Derek to knock out Melanie for an access code. At first, he's against it, but he does so and ties her up. Irene gets ready to torture Melanie, but first, she has to send him up in the elevator to honor her deal. But as the elevator closes, Derek reveals he unscrewed the seat Melanie is on, so she's free. She walks around the corner just to clobber Irene off screen. Derek pumps himself up as he takes the elevator up to the final boss. But when he arrives, the boss has an offer for a massive promotion. At first, he considers it. But after thinking about Melanie, he disagrees. This kicks off the final fight of the movie. Towers get the upper hand with some cocaine and start choking Derek. But he gets away and gets the upper hand with some broken glass. Derek tells the 9 to vote on his fate and they all vote kill him. And so he happily agrees and tosses the boss down a whole bunch of floors. They finally hear him out and he happily takes ownership of the company. But only long enough to sign Melanie's mortgage and save her home. Before here is Heinz. The movie ends with Derek and Melanie happily painting together. Thank you for watching. Take care.